Greetings, and welcome to the debut episode of Snake Reviews. I mentioned in my retirement from commentaries that one of the things I've been looking to do with this channel is get into reviews. However, I never knew what I should have gone with first. I didn't want to go for anything like Family Guy or SpongeBob just yet, as I wanted to be at least a little bit creative. I'll definitely take care of them in due time, but to really make my mark in the reviewing community, I thought I'd go after a show that hardly anyone ever reviews, negatively or positively, and that is Drake and Josh. I love this show. It's not only Dan Schneider's magnum opus, yes, I like it more than All That and The Amanda Show, but it is a timeless classic where like 99% of the dialogue is quotable. That said, not everything this show did was a zinger, such as this episode, Driver's License. I know I am in the minority here thinking this episode isn't too good, and I just want to announce that I don't outright hate this episode. I just think it's below average. As for why I think so, well, let's get this over with. This episode starts out with Drake and Josh studying for their road test. Well, Josh is. Drake is playing a racing game, which, unless it's Gran Turismo, I don't think is actually going to help him in a conceivable way. It has a decent start to it, involving the usual comedic banter that we love and expect from the show. Then the plot actually gets going when the brothers come home from school. Walter is waiting by the kitchen window and blows a whistle at them because they ran a stop sign that he put in the living room.
And why is there a stop sign in the living room?
Because I'm about to help you guys prepare for your driver's test.
Don't worry about it. We prepared all day.
I'm helping you!
Wow, I didn't know Walter hung out with my dad in the mid-2000s. Walter's version of the test is to have the brothers pretend that they're driving. Like, literally just using furniture to simulate the act of driving. Josh is up first, but unfortunately he runs over Megan.
Nice going, Josh. You ran over your sister.
I get to run over her next.
Oh, Drake. Never change. Oh, wait. Too late for that, I guess. Now it's Drake's turn to drive.
Must I do this?
Your choice, but you know the rules. You get one traffic ticket. That's it. I take your license away. That goes for both of you.
Holy shit, that's a rough standard. You're really gonna revoke their licenses if they get one single ticket? Not even the courts would do something that drastic unless you were driving drunk, messed out, and receiving roadhead from a baboon.
Okay, Drake. Now we're driving along. We're just driving along. It's a beautiful evening. The sun is just about to set when a thunderstorm hits.
You know, I can't help but feel like this scene tacitly proves that Walter is aware of Megan's pranky nature and doesn't give a fuck. The brothers are at their road test, and if you know the formula of the show, you'll know that Josh gets the crabby and strict instructor, and Drake gets the hot and lenient instructor. This time, however, it comes with a twist. Drake is obviously driving very badly and recklessly, while Josh is being extra cautious. In spite of this, Josh passes his test, and Drake fails, which is a nice subversion and how Drake always wins and Josh always loses. Also, Drake's instructor is named Carly, and while I could easily make an iCarly joke here, I just find it strange how Dan used 3 female characters with that name, judging how Drake later dates a girl named Carly. There is one thing I gotta point out, though.
Drake, I'm sorry, but I can't pass you.
Why not?
Well, let's see. You ran 4 stop signs, 2 red lights, drove on the sidewalk, rear-ended a fire truck. Oh, and you almost ran over an old lady in a wheelchair.
Rear-ended a fire truck? Then how the hell did you guys even make it back? In fact, why was that the most fun test you've ever given if you know how bad of a driver he is? Oh, and the old lady in the wheelchair comes around to show Drake what for, which leaves me questioning how she even caught up with him. That night, Drake and Josh go out for pizza, but Josh accidentally runs a stop sign and gets pulled over. He gets a speeding ticket, which he tries to get out of by faking a heart attack. Honestly, it's overall really funny how Josh acts around the cop, but what really sells it is how the cop blatantly knows Josh is faking it and just ignores him as he writes up the ticket. That said, this is where things start getting bad. Josh is upset about his speeding ticket, but Drake does him a salad and pays it out for him so Walter doesn't find out and revoke his license, which I still find to be a rough as fuck standard. And because Drake did this, he begins extorting Josh for personal favors, despite the initial offer only involving Josh reimbursing him when he gets the chance. First, Josh takes him to the mall to buy a CD, but he just goes ahead and buys a bunch of other shit and wastes Josh's time. He tries to make Josh stop by Trevor's house to see an abscess in a jar, but Josh can't because he has homework.
No, I gotta get home. Okay, I guess I just thought you'd be a little nicer to me since I paid for your traffic ticket. But whatever.
Wow, you're a real asshole, you know that? Doing something nice for somebody else isn't an invitation to hold it over their heads like a sausage on a fishing rod. And since Josh is kind of a pushover, he reluctantly takes Drake to Trevor's house. Later at 3 a.m., Drake wakes up Josh to go get tacos by playing a really loud guitar chord. Are Audrey and Walter just like really heavy sleepers or something? Because Drake and Josh in this scene make no effort to keep their voices down, and it is, 3 a.m. This obviously upsets Josh, and he actually puts his foot down here.
I just thought that a corn shell full of beef and cheese would be a small reward for, I don't know, helping you keep your driver's license.
Okay, that's it. Stop dropping guilt bombs on me. You did me a favor, and I appreciate it. But now you're trying to take advantage of me, and I won't have it. You hear me?
Oh, I hear ya. And maybe Dad's gonna hear me when I tell him that you ran a stop sign and got a pretty little traffic ticket. What do you say to that?
I say, it's taco time.
Yeah, they finally have Josh tell Drake he's being a douche, and they decide to ruin it by making Drake come out on top. I know Josh usually unfairly gets put through the ringer, but here it's not even funny. Drake is genuinely being manipulative and unlikable. That's not really something you can get a laugh out of. After Drake has a seemingly poor date at the premiere, he's ready to call it a night. Oh, are you sure, Drake? You sure you don't want Josh to drive all the way to Indenia and back just for kicks? Seriously, this is a very magnanimous favor of you given your behavior up to this point. Ha, but don't worry. Drake sets his sights on another woman and holds Josh up yet again.
Drake Parker.
Denise Woods.
So have I seen you around school?
I don't know. Carnegie has such a big campus.
Oh, Carnegie College?
Yeah, what'd you think I meant? High school?
Oh, high school, yeah. I remember those days. Yeah, good times.
I don't really have anything to say about this part other than the fact that Drake looks like a college student, so that'd be kind of believable. Either way, Drake decides to take Denise on a date tomorrow night and has Josh pose as a personal driver named Chives. I'll admit that Josh's deadpan as Chives is pretty humorous. Drake and Denise want to go to the beach, but Josh has finally had enough and tells Drake to drive there instead. As Drake gets ready, a cop pulls up.
Cops. Oh, sweet, sweet karma.
Uh-huh. Don't get your hopes up, buddy. Anyway, the cop walks up to the window, and it's actually the same cop from before. Is there like one cop in all of San Diego working this week, or is he just filling up a quota? In fact, if anything, I wish they'd make a joke about it, but they don't. Josh doesn't even recognize him, nor the other way around. Last opportunity there. It turns out the car has a taillight out, and the cop needs to see Drake's license. And then it's revealed Drake doesn't even have one. So does Drake get a fine or any sort of citation for attempting to drive without a license? Nah, that'd be retributive and justifiable. Instead, Josh lets it slip that he was the one driving the car all night, and so he has to get another ticket for the taillight. In return, Josh roughs up Drake, which is satisfying to watch, but still a Pyrrhic victory by no other name. And so ends the episode. Yeah, I'm not too fond of it, and so I'm rating it a 5 out of 10. Why is that? Well, this episode is far from reprehensible, and the problems with it don't really show up until midway through, but what ultimately makes it not good is Drake. He is obscenely unlikable in this episode, like, more so than any other one that I remember. In other episodes, he did use Josh for his own gains, but it was very clear that Drake needed Josh's help to make up for what he lacks, such as wooing an intelligent girl. Here, though, Drake does Josh a huge favor and spends the remaining time extorting Josh like a manipulative shitbag. It really is not funny once you get right down to it, and it's very out of character. Drake is supposed to be lazy and egotistical, but still a good guy nonetheless, not a bully who selfishly and gleefully manipulates people close to him. That's something I expect from Megan, not from him. This episode might have worked better if Josh was actively trying to avoid reimbursing Drake, and so personal favors were the only way to buy himself time. But they decided not to go for that. Why? I don't know. However, I can at least appreciate that other bad episodes of Drake and Josh don't get any worse than this, and even though this is my least favorite episode, it wasn't even that horrible. It's mediocre at best and irritating at worst. That'll be it for my first review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, because I don't care if you didn't, I'm gonna make them anyway.